Welcome back to the Shack 2.0, where today we're going to be trying to work on the Scamp. Yeah, the idea is, I've already started, so this is video and at the end, or it's midway through, but there's a peace and quiet. Now I've moved into this unit, there's obviously people next door, so they make a bit of noise, it's work. But anyway, so it's quiet now, so I'm going to record something. I'm going to try and get the brakes all bled, if we can, in this video, we shall see. I'm trying to get the clutch to work. I've tried to put a replacement rebuild kit. There's something still not quite right with the clutch, just forget it. I just ordered up a new master. Why not? 30 odd quid, just do it. We've got some paint and we've got some Raptor bed lining and stuff, but we're not going to do that in this video, but we've got them coming. We've got some dash gauges to sort of look into fitting. What else have we got? We have an ignition kit which we could show you, but I'm not going to fit it yet because I think I'm going to wait till the engine's actually running and driving. Then it's a good time to then swap all your ignition over to electronic ignition, because then you know that you're starting from something that did work and it still works, hopefully. Helps diagnose any problems. So let's crack on and see what we can get done. Oh, the other thing I want to get done is remove the fuel tank. We're going to at least just remove it just so I can use it to load line the whole back. But ideally I want to go back to what my dad was originally thinking of, having either a tank on one side or two tanks either side. So it makes the floor, the load bed, nice and big. That's what his original plan was. So that's what we're going to stick to. He doesn't really remember what colour he wanted to paint it. So we're going to go with our own colour scheme, which might be quite similar to another car. Not that one. It's going to be different to that. Yeah, we've got some aluminium arriving to make some fuel cells at some point, and a new roof as well, because I buggered that up, going slightly thicker. And we've got some sound deadening as well, that's arrived as well, which I'm not sure where we're going to put that, but we're definitely going to put some in the roof. So I am sure where I'm going to put it in the roof. Maybe some of the bulkhead. Back on. Not sure quite what this is. Some sort of nest. I don't know. Look like bees, could be something else. At least it's gone. Hey, I don't know why I started doing that, but I just wanted to. Yeah, got rid of all that wood down there. I'm trying to design up some tanks at the moment in on shape. I did some measurements the other day, and one tank this size, level with this and down to fill that space, is about 3/4 of the size of that tank. But if I put two on, we get more fuel than one tank. So we'll make two fuel tanks up, but we'll only start with one to start with, I think, just for the hell of it. Just leave the tank in there for the moment because it's still got some fuel in it and the car sort of runs. But that's allowed me now space now to just double check all my measurements. You could get convoluted and go inside all those gaps and everything, but you're just making more work for yourself on the fuel tank. It's going to have welded up sides anyway, so less welds are better really, but just, you could do it. We can always add it later. No harm in welding up a fuel tank after it's been made. Yeah, so getting to the vision of what my dad wanted. He wanted this all flat. Yep, we've made a mess on the new unit floor, but we're going to tidy that up right after this video. So as you can see, we've got the tailgate down. It's just some bit of cable that's left on there, but I'm going to maybe put some chains on it or something. It'd be nice if this was hinged so it's absolutely flush when it dropped down. But the way it's hinged and way it's mounted at the moment, it doesn't. So, but yeah, again, you could fit yourself a nice 5-foot bed in there if you needed to, if we got rid of that tank. So yeah, I think that's going to look cool and a bit of a homage to what my dad wanted. He wanted to try and keep it all thing. I think tailgates were optional extra. I don't. Yeah, so that's why my dad asked for one at the time. I could be wrong, but he thought there was, but obviously it was 30 years ago, so. Right, tidy up. Okay, I don't know how much you can hear of this or the radio next door, which I'm trying not to get copyrighted and stung. So all the brakes are now pipes are wide up. Time to jack it all up, get it up on off axle stand so we can then bleed the brakes and go from there. I think what we do is we rock one of these drums off, maybe both, and just see what the state of it is, see if the pads need changing or not. If they've got a bit of meat left in them, we'll just leave them for the moment and we'll just give it a bleed. But let's take a drum off and see what it looks like. Okay, trying to speak over the copyrighted music next door. So looks like it's got a bit of meat left on the actual pads, the shoes I should say. I can't get the slave cylinders at the moment to move. I think you should be able to put a screwdriver in them and just twist them slightly, because obviously they're a piston in the end, they can spin and they can go in and out, but they're not. So I'm thinking they're mostly seasoned and most you could do with some new ones. But yeah, I have to see if I can get any local of those. Oh, no music is on, brilliant. Lovely filming, people chatting next door though. So this side stripped down, the slave cylinders rotate and seem all free, which is good, just a bit of surface rust everywhere. Could do with maybe a new drum at some point. It's just a bit, that's it, it's not too bad. It's not too bad actually. I thought it was worse than it is. Maybe some new rubber balls, rubber cones at some point. So yeah, this side, what's mostly worth doing is me trying to take this out now, because you can get different size slave cylinders. And we really don't want one. We can then see if we can free it up, but to be honest, if it's seized now, freeing it up is unlikely to help too much, because it's already got a mark in there where it's seized anyway. So yeah, a little bit of peace and quiet. You're gonna have fun trying to put all these in order, Madison. So we're gonna take we've taken the battery box out, which hopefully you've just seen in previous videos. We've got all the pipe now plumbed into the master cylinder, down to the T-piece there with a brake pressure sensor in it, all the way to the other side, They're all tight. I've got that T-piece all bolted down, so that's nice and solid. Maybe some more clips at some point. Clutch is removed at the moment because that's been a pain in the ass. And yeah, what else have we done at the front here? Yeah, the battery box was held in by a couple of bolts, which was nice, and then one bolt that goes all the way through the shock, which was a bit annoying, but I guess the battery boxes aren't going to come over very often. Put a bit of hammer on some of the bare rust for the moment. Might have to restrip stuff later, but yeah, let's not try and get the rust to go any worse. It's only the engine bay at the moment. Also, we've got, and we have done again, is we've fitted some new riv nuts into here, and we ordered up some stainless steel buttons, M8 buttons. So that holds the grill on. I may have to then sort of just put some pins or something at the bottom there just to stop the bottom of the grill flapping around. But that's a good start. Thinking we may get a little winch for the front as well. I'm having a look out for a winch, so let me know if anyone's got a nice little 12-volt winch. Nothing too big, because it doesn't need to be, just a little winch. Yeah, cool. Okie dokie. Pretty easy to undo. You undo the 7/16 brake union, and there's a big C clippy type thing on the back. And yeah, there it is. I've taken the rubber seals off, just to have a look, and yeah, I can't turn it. I stuck it in the vise, tried to compress it. It didn't go berserk, but it wasn't moving, so it does have a code on it. I think that's C29 or something. So yeah, I need to see if I can measure what size that is and see if we can get hold of another one. I don't know if Euro car parts might stock them, unlikely. Okay, local GSF to me had them in stock for 12 quid. I could have got them online for 11 or £9, but I can go collect them in half an hour on my way home and then bring them back tomorrow. I ordered 2 up because might as well. If we do this side, might as well put the other side in. I'm not going to bother with pads and shoes because they really don't get used much on the back of the car anyway, and they've got some meat left on them anyway, so. And drums look okay as well for what they are, so just get it going. I've looked and saw some brake pipes underneath which could do with replacing or changing, not because they're rotten, but just the way they're routed isn't brilliant. But again, we may just leave that for now. I'll have a think overnight. It's getting a bit cold down here, and yeah, time to pack up and go have some little pizza for dinner. All right, see you in the next section in a minute, even though I'm not really going, but I'm going. But again, while you're here, if you want to help support me, check out the description in any way. Hit the like button, subscribe and do all that. Yes, Frank is going to get done or worked on. So anyway, Scamp at the moment. Okay, I'll try and talk over the music that's next door. It's another day now, we're back. Been to GSF. There's some slave cylinders in stock. So I picked up 2 of those, and yeah, if it might as well replace both sides while we're at it. Oh, and the heater kicking in. Okay, try and talk over the music still. Let me know if you can hear the music. Google will tell me anyway, YouTube. So, rear cylinders replaced on both sides. Clip was a bit of a pain in the arse, but got there in the end. Give it a bit of a clean up. I might put a little bit of hammer on some of the stuff in a bit when we finish. But I was going to redo the pipe underneath, but I think I'm going to leave it for now. I think it's okay. I just need to put some clips on it. That's what's more. I thought it was routed badly, but actually I think it's actually routed okay. It just needs clips. So we get on and do that as well. So I'm not too sure if we can bleed it. We'll try and give it a go ourselves. And yeah, see if we can get any brakes. Okay, just found I had a loose fitting once I started seeing the fluid suddenly going down once I started pumping the pedal. So yeah, just the little fitting in here I'd forgotten to do up through to the flexi hose. But I've just started to think that I haven't seen a brake bias valve or proportioning valve or brake pressure valve, whatever you like to call them, in the system. So I need to double check that because it should have one on the rear. I'm going to see if it's hidden anywhere. Otherwise, I think we've got to stop bleeding because we're going to need one. Going to have to put a hold on the brakes. We're going to need a bias valve of some kind. It's silly trying to bleed it still because, yeah, you're going to put all pressure, 50% of the pressure at the front, 50% of the back. The brakes just lock up as you're driving, so you can't drive it like that. So, yeah, need to a bit of a research and see whether I'll just buy a cheap single one or try and just spend the money and buy the one that goes at the back that's designed for the minis, which I should do, shouldn't I? Let's see if there's any other jobs I can do before I wrap up for the day. Just a quick shout out to the people. I say a quick shout out to the people. I don't know who bought the stuff that they got it off my Amazon wish list. Thank you very much. Absolutely amazing. You must know who you are. So thank you again. There's smaller items on there as well. If you see anything online that you think would be useful or you use at all, let me know as well. I can always add it to the list or whatever, or whatever. But you know, don't feel you have to check it out. But if you wanted to help in any way, people do, and I am very, very grateful. Very grateful. So thank you very much to whoever you are. You must know who you are. But yeah, check out the description if you want to help in any way. Okay, I'm going to wrap this video up. If I can get anything extra done, I'll squeeze it back in. Just started putting some riv nuts in for the painted battery box that we painted up the other day. That can all go back in. Going to have some chicken in a bag, shake and bake, baby, shake and bake for dinner. Didn't even get a chance to have a Stella. So again, it's frustrating that, you know, we all have it, don't we? We're all frustrated when you don't get parts and you have parts or you found out that you're missing a part. Just not worth bleeding the brakes, because I could bleed the brakes and prove that they work, but that's not going to get me anywhere. I need to then disconnect them all and bleed them again once I get the bias valve, brake pressure valve, whatever you like to call it. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully during the next week the clutch master turns up, we can get that fitted and then we can actually get the thing moving again. That's the idea. We get it outside, give it a good old jet wash and a degrease, so we can then work on some of the cleaning up stuff. Want to flip it up onto its side. There's some welding to be done underneath. Sadly, it has suffered from the old rust rot. Get it flipped over, then we wrap to the underside, and we might wrap to the inside as well, and some other bits will come up. Next video, hopefully we'll get on Frank as well. We're going to get the interior taken out, get all the sills all sorted and do that. Anyway, right, stay safe everyone. Thank you for all your support, and please hit the like button and subscribe if you can. I'm just a man in a big shed at the moment for 6 months, and we're back to a small shack or back to the single garage, but let's get some of these projects done.